We're going to be jumping into it, Game 3, and I want to leave this question with you. The Odette pick, we saw it work wonders before. This time it didn't really work out. So are we seeing the flip-flop of sides here? And also priority-wise, APBR, what do they go for against this lineup from ONIC after seeing a devastating loss in Game 2? What are the adjustments here? Bands already coming forward. Whoa. Faramus, Fovius, Matilda, still ONIC on the blue, APBR on the red. Again. They want this.
So I was going to start off with saying maybe ban out the Nolan, force ONIC to change things up a little bit, right? But they do not. Instead, APBR take the difference here. They're going to put Few on the Novaria, still pick up the R-Lot. So we're keeping one, we're changing the other, but still, this is going to force definitely a different draft than what we saw last time on the side of ONIC. Do they continue to put Few up? I mean, do they continue to put Sans up front on their lineup? Last time they locked in the Novaria. Bruno is still open as well. Definitely a lot of options for the side of ONIC.
The Bruno definitely makes sense here, right? I mean, the matchup is going to be great for CW. You need to put him on a winning matchup, but the Terizla has been phenomenal in the last 2 games, and that's going to be the Guinevere locked in, right? So APBR, maybe the idea behind the Novaria pick was the fact that, hey, they already picked the jungler, ONIC, right? There's no way they picked this Guinevere.
Wow.
But then ONIC pick it up, and then they have to go Joy. They can't let this go.
Yeah.
It'll be banned out.
I think they were willing to go into this matchup, right? You go ahead, you might be scratching your heads. Why the Nolan once again over to ONIC while APBR decides, hey, we'll take Vision, we'll take the fact that Joy is open as well, and we'll match it up against each other. But still, right, what do we see in the gold lane for both these teams? Really, as we get through it, we're probably expecting some gold lane bans to come through. The Kadita, though, is going to be taken out from APBR.
Kadita, definitely a solid ban, something that could punish Few in the laning phase, right? Even once the level 4 spike comes, if Sans plays that Kadita like an assassin, or they decide to, no, now they have the Gwen, so it's got to be a roam Gwen. Either way, on the side of ONIC, we're looking at mid lane for them right now. I like the Guinevere pickup, but it's going to be hard to target down on a Joy. Main target for Keyboy right now has got to be Few, and whatever Super Marco ends up locking in. Onto the second phase of bans now. They take out the Paquito. Do they continue to hammer into the EXP lane? They did this last time, right?
Yeah.
Last time, even though the R-Lala was picked up, they expect it still that Ogwin is going to get it, and they're going to force this R-Lot to stay in the EXP lane.
Is the proof that I'm still
Brody being
alive.
taken out here. Once again, interesting ban, right? Really trying to get this matchup once again. Claude comes through, so this still, the fact that there's a couple gold laners that we've seen through, you know, up to this point. You have, of course, the Bruno that we're still talking about. You have the Claude, since that's taken out, the Brody. The answer, Bruno, comes up. Now, what do you want to play into here if you're ONIC?
Yeah, no Claude, no Brody, no Wanwan even, right? So, what, the only thing opens the carry here. They go for the Harith! Oh man, ONIC. They have a lot of mid-control right now, but then if you have a Harith inside, do you want to double down on some more magic damage, even harder with the Lilia, or do you want some long range? Because right now, with the Harith, they lack a lot of range.
Wow.
They go for the Gushin! They go for the dive! They go for the double down!
I mean, it's match point.
Wow.
And ONIC never seems to disappoint with their drafts.
They're going to do it in style.
They're going to do it in such style. Last time we saw Sans on the Gushin, it was an insane
I remember
game.
this specifically because Mirko had to
Was
say the
losing
ultimate.
his mind.
I had to say the ultimate.
Yep, the incandescent.
Exactly. Every time this Gushin is picked up, right, I'm excited, but also
You're wondering, it's kind of
I'm
like epitome.
It's
epitome.
epitome,
Right?
Right.
What about
yeah, yeah.
incandescence?
Incandescence.
I mean, if there's anyone that's going to play the Gushin and is at the epitome of the Gushin, it's definitely Sans.
Oh man, what do APBR close it off with though?
Right now, we'll still. There it is. Kufra.
I swear I was going to say before he picked it.
I was going to say that was the flex.
I swear I was going to say before he picked it.
Well, I believe you, but you took the buzzers off.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why you didn't say it.
You're right.
You forgot the business, man.
I forgot the business.
Well, you're the ones with the
The tennis.
So, since I know you're about to ask me what I think about the
what do
draft
you think
overall
about
because I have the foresight, even though it's a chaotic and insane, and everyone would say it's a horrible draft most of the time. I feel like I can trust an ONIC with this draft, but still, because I want a game number 5, I'm gonna say that the Bees got this.
You say they got it?
They got it.
Okay. Well, once again, we're gonna see if the Bees got it, if they can extend the series. As right now, it's ONIC at match point here. And a decisive game, too, that we saw them. They're going in with a very risky, interesting, flashy team composition for game 3 to possibly close out the series and get closer to the golden road as we jump into the land of Dawn for game number 3.
All right, so let's be realistic here, right? We take a look at ONIC's composition. Definitely aggressive, a huge level 4 spike for almost every member of their team. Now onto the side of AP they do have a lot, and I mean a lot of late game potential. Definitely a huge win condition for the side of AP Bren. AP Bren needs to try to slow them down. Watch out for the level 4 spike. Watch out for the mid-game spike overall. Few needs to stay as far back as possible. He can't get caught off by Sans. He can't get caught off by Keyboy. As long as Few can do that, it's definitely a possibility.
The Tyrant's Revenge on the Keyboy, forcing a flicker out. Calteezy jumping in with the damage. Kyrie doing the same thing. Turned around, first blood, picked up by AP Bren. But Kyrie, the god in the jungle, takes a double kill.
Very quick.
2-1. Already Naisu.
Already, you can feel it, right? Sans feeling pretty good about it. But again, how does that help?
The last time we saw Gushin, in the last tournament we saw Gushin, it was another San. It was Sanji on the Gushin. It's poetic that now it's Sans.
Very poetic.
Yeah, must be something about the first 3 letters there.
The Sans.
Kyrie, though.
Oh, he gets out. Beautiful dash away from the bouncing ball.
All right, so it's 2-1. Definitely still anybody's game. We're just getting started, but you can already feel the pressure, and so far the past 3 games have been full of this, but up on the top side.
CW gets a good hit, Super Marco taken low, and now someone's crawling down. The assassin from the mid lane. Super Marco has the Purify. Sans not able to find the angle, jumps in and gives CW the pressure he needs to shove the wave, and Sans is chasing Super Marco down. He's making him walk all the way under the tier 2.
Are they going to be able to deny Super Marco both of those gold cannons?
Yes.
Because if so, that is going to be huge. Here comes Few to try to help out. Try to get Super Marco in range just to get something there.
Sans picks up 1. He takes Few down. Now Kyrie against Baptiste with the help of Boots. Keyboy as well. Boots finds the penalties onto the back. It's a killing spree for Kyrie. Dodges away. He buys the turtle. ONIC are massacring AP Bren in the first 2 minutes.
This is a lineup that I would like to just describe as finesse. That's what these heroes do, and that's how it's being executed right now by ONIC.
And not many teams around the world could pull off a composition like this, and they're hitting this level 4 spike so well right now. AP Bren at this point needs to just be careful, maybe even not try to force the next turtle, maybe even try to just run away from any fights at this point, because they're gonna need a little bit of time. They gotta go help out Super Marco. Someone's gotta get up there, because if he keeps getting starved out, if he's a level or 2 behind CW, it is gonna be bad when we get to the 6, 7, 8 minute mark.
Okay, let's reel it in once again here. AP Bren, they are down by 2.2 thousand gold at this point in the game. Itemization-wise, they're still trying to work on those first items to get picked up here, but still, they can play around that too as they try to just buy some time. You said it yourself, Trex, trying to buy some time for Super Marco, protect him a little bit, right? Look at the pressure here.
I mean, half of that gold lead is in the hands of Kyrie.
Spatial migration canceled out, but he's gonna be pinned down. Super Marco, Keyboy flickers out to safety, and CW gets out of the Tyrant's rage, not even utilizing the Purify.
ONIC. That's all I can say right now. They are all over the map. They have the movement speed, and here's the thing. They can attack these off lanes because they have such great dive potential right now. With the Gushin, with Kyrie on this Nolan, it's hard to slow them down. It's hard to play safe because they can get right under your tower. CW dropped the Zamon's Force last fight, slows Super Marco down. There's no way for him to even get out, and that's what makes it so easy for them to get these pickoffs.
The scary part too is if you're looking at all the items, right? That was a Genius 1 picked up by Sans now. You have the Starlium Scythe on CW, so interaction-wise, magic damage-wise, is going to hurt. Even Ogwin.
Zaman Force going to be used up. Ogwin with a time's rage, able to lock Keyboy down and flickers out to safety right now. Keyboy's going to be able to pop that Requiem, but Calteezy takes him out. Electrifying beat. CW not able to find Super Marco just yet, but the turtle will be secured on the other side of the map with a Petrify connecting. Sans and CW turning around once again, and Sans body blocks the Astral Sphere. Flapteezy looking for another sort of initiation, but he will not be able to find it.
Just when Kyle Teasy finally pulls something off there, he goes a little bit too deep and it's taken out Naisu.
This is the, as I was saying, you know, Sans wasn't even part of the fight, but still you can see the damage potential with this lineup. Again, it does take a certain type of finesse to pull these heroes off, but so far, the interaction between them, it's building up, right? The power spike at this point in the game is clear, even given the situation. That's why, objectively, AP Bren, it's better that some of these turtles, they have just, let's give it up, let's go ahead and farm up as much as possible. But see this Super Marco having a difficult time just trying to find the gold right now.
Violet Requiem onto Kyrie's damage, onto Ogwin with a bouncing ball. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, CW gets picked off. It's a two-man dive into bottom lane. AP Bren showing signs of life.
I love how in some of those last two fights we saw, ONIC isn't even worried about the bouncy ball. They're literally dashing right in it just to chase him down, dropping the Zaman's Force. At this point, ONIC, 3K gold lead, 6 minutes in. It's definitely a slightly slower pace than the snowball that they had last game, but they are just getting started. Hopefully in a minute or two, AP Bren may be able to hit some sort of spike. But look at the gold lead in the gold lane, over 1K into the hands of CW. Super Marco just completing his Haas Claws, just completing his first item. That is a huge deficit, and he's supposed to be the big damage dealer. He's supposed to be the one that comes into the team around the 7-8 minute mark and is able to unload. We are seeing him already rotate down. Ogwin looking for something.
Turns Rage, Revenge as well, used up Boots. Flashback all the way in.
Kyrie!
Oh my goodness, the fracture from Kyrie. Just takes Super Marco out, he pops the Purify, but he's unable to get out of that burst.
So, again, talking about Super Marco being behind, this furthers it, right? It's getting a little drastic here. Oh, he read.
Violet Requiem, Incandescent, CW executes Flapteezy. And ONIC now are pushing their gold lead even further in this game. 3 turtles to nothing.
Okay, back to it objectively. 3 now in favor of ONIC. Gold lead building up here. You have to start to ask yourself, where is AP Bren going to be able to find the comeback for this, right? Given the lineup that they have, the Joy, who has slipped through the cracks for the most part, but really hasn't been able to utilize. M-Series Facts, by the way, total kills ranking. Kyrie has surpassed Carl Teasy's total kills in the M-Series. The Sky King is now ranked 4th with 201 kills.
And you don't see that very often for a jungler anymore.
He's been in 3 M-Series, right? Yeah, ONIC PHM3, ONIC with M4 and M5.
He's come a long way, and right now, he is minutes. If they can win this game, he's minutes away from a grand final standing. ONIC is hungry for this, and it shows in their gameplay. Now, look at the gold earned. Kyrie and CW just leading the pack right now. Few, Flapteezy, Super Marco sitting below almost everybody on the side of ONIC.
Taking a look at the items here. Once again, the biggest drastic thing that has to change here for AP Bren is allowing Super Marco to get where he needs to be. A lot of times teams pick up the Bruno because usually you have the 2 items, you have the Haas Claws, you have the Berserker's Fury early on, and you're able to build up, scale up really quickly. But this time, ONIC had the answer for that, right? They've really slowed him down. And so if AP Bren, they have to find a way to stay alive for the most part. And that's why you even see some of these defensive items being picked up, right? You have the Radiant Armors here now available to deal with some of this burst magic damage like we saw even previously from Kyrie alone.
And now it gets really tough for the side of AP Bren, right? How do they look for an angle here? It's technically, they have a lot of damage behind a lot of CC. They have Ogwin on that Kufra, who can look for a lot of disengages, re-engages, and even catches around the map. But they need to look for one big combo. It needs to be ONIC clumped up together. Unfortunately, with this kind of composition, I don't feel like there's any reason for ONIC to clump up together. They're all assassins.
Yeah, I mean, there's Boots, right? But for the most part, he's also just looking for his own angle to entry. with a penalty zone. So for the most part, you're not going to be clumped up together if you're ONIC. Even with this, the conceal going to be used. They spawn out Ogwin for now. Uh-oh.
1v1 Suns! Solo kills Kyle Teasy! In the bottom river, a mid laner taking on a jungler.
And he's doing it in fashion. ONIC take the Lord. AP Bren, is there an answer at this point? It seems so difficult. Oh, another knock-up.
Spatial migration into the battle Requiem, into everything to take Ogwin down. That's the tank.
This is tough. Again, AP Bren, their backs against the wall here. It is only that first Lord. But when you're dealing with this type of deficit, terms of economy, especially in the gold lane, it's tough to buy more time. Even if Ogwin lands the perfect rage and revenge setups combinations, do you have enough firepower to turn the tide of a fight right now? Holy Crystal being picked up as well. Turrets dropping after another as ONIC gets prepped and ready to knock on the base turrets of AP Bren as they continue to take the resources.
Here's the thing, normally this type of gold lead between two teams like this, it would still be doable for AP Bren. But when you draft a composition like ONIC has drafted here that is just so hyper aggressive, normally the reason you don't pick heroes like this, the reason you don't pick the Gusion in mid is because it's such risk reward. It has such an impact. But now that they have gotten to that reward, they've been able to scale. They're 10-3, they're 9K gold ahead. That is a dangerous concoction against AP Bren. Take a look at San's build. He's got the glowing wand, and now he's even got the Winter Truncheon locked in just in case as a defensive measure. If he wants to go for that insane deep dive, he's gonna have the ability to help himself and get himself out.
And of course it's Sans here in front of the home crowd favorites, recalling and showing that finesse.
The styling right there once again. Still similar situation, AP Bren trying to find anything they can. You already saw the disparity.
Oh! Spatial migration dodged away from, able to escape from the Tyrant's rage. Final slash, whoa, by Flap Teasy. Not connecting onto anyone.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, that was a whiff.
Yep, tough one once again.
See it.
Call him how you see it, because that's the situation for AP Bren. Once again, backs against the wall, it's tough. The damage though from Kyle Teasy.
Zaman Force coming down, Kyle Teasy with electrified fates! Boots finds a penalty zone! And that might just be it with a violent Requiem to take Ogwin down. Only one member left standing. It's View.
Oh my God, AP Bren, this could be it.
With one last incandescence, the Sky Kings have the golden road open, set for them to make the one last leap. There's only one thing that can explain this. The atas langit, ada ONIC!
Another brick laid on the golden road as they head into the grand final for M5.
It has been 4 years since Indonesia has made it to a grand finals. ONIC have gotten through it. The naysayers, the doubters, they've been trying time and time again, and finally, they are closer on their golden road.
Oh, do you know where that brings us once again? The matchup later on today. The work that has to be here for AP Bren against Blacklist. Oh, I did not expect 2 sweeps to start the day. That's, again, crazy how things kind of unfold here, but you gotta respect just the tenacity of ONIC to keep things going. Let's go ahead and throw it over on the stage with our hosts for the winner's interview.
Everybody, let's give a big round of applause for ONIC. Let's hear the vibe here at Rizal Memorial Coliseum. When I say go, you say ONIC. Go! One more time. Go! Wow! Congratulations, guys! Congratulations, Kyrie! I Actually, Coach Yeb, ikaw na muna, Coach Yeb.
Coach.
Coach Yeb, dahil sa inyong lahat, because of you guys, for the first time in how many years? In about 3 years, it won't be an all-Filipino in the grand finals. It'll be Indonesia versus the Philippines. How do you guys feel about that?
Actually, hindi po namin iniisip yun eh. Gusto lang namin ibigay yung best namin palagi.
Coach Yeb is saying they're not thinking about that. They just want to give their best.
Yes, as long as they give their best. Look at the results. Kyrie, please.
Kyrie?
Please talk us through that first game.
Wow.
That first game. Talk us through that first game. We all thought it was a done deal. It looked like APBR was gonna come out with the win. What made it turn it? What did you do to turn it around and suddenly steal that win away?
Kanina po, mindset ko na naman po namin, pabuhat na kay Boy.
They just asked you, boy, to carry them to the win. That's basically it. But what was the mindset to stay composed and really just try to get that one?
Normal lang naman po kasi marami din naman po kaming game na dulog po kami ng early to mid. So, part of the game naman po yun. Kaya hanggang di pa tapos yung game, kaya pang manalo.
It's part of the game. It's part of the game until it's not over. It's not over yet, but he was saying earlier, they just relied on Keyboy to carry them for that game one. Keyboy, I want to hear from you. And I want Sans to translate once again. Keyboy, that game number 1 shaped the rest of the series. You guys were down. It was 0-12, I believe, for the entire 19 minutes. In 3 minutes, you were able to turn it around and take that win. There was so much pressure going on in that time. And they said they were just relying on you to carry the team. How did you stay composed? What was going through your mind? Because that game shaped everything. Sans, you have to translate everything I said. You gotta translate everything I said. Take the mic, translate it to Keyboy. Translate it to Keyboy. You translate to him. That's okay. Yeah, you translate with the mic. You translate with the mic. We want to hear how Sans translates. It's okay. He's got this. Keyboy is gonna carry everybody again. All right. Okay.
Maybe just chill and hockey.
Just chill and
Lucky.
Just chill. He'll
Just
take care of
chill.
the rest.
just chill.
He'll take care of the rest.
Okay. Keyboy will take care of the rest, Mikey.
Keyboy's got
Just
the whole
enjoy.
team and everybody here. Sans,
Sans.
you really have
You
to
again,
hold the mic.
Sans.
Sans.
I will translate.
Okay, Coach will translate. Blacklist versus APBR. The winner, you will meet tomorrow in the grand finals. What are your thoughts, and who do you think has the advantage later between both Filipino teams?
Coach, we want to hear you talk with the mic. We want to hear you translate. We want to hear you translate this.
Besok, blacklist lawan Bren kan. Jadi menurut lo siapa yang ada
Wow.
advantage yang bisa menang?
Grabe.
Galing ah.
Mungkin masih Brand, soalnya aku rasa aku kan udah lawan dua tim, Blacklist sama Brand. Tapi aku rasa masih kekuatan Brand. Jadi mungkin ada chance Brand yang ketemu kita besok.
San said he thinks Bren will win because he tried versus Bren and Blacklist, right? And he thinks Bren is more stronger.
Okay, that's a great challenge.
So that means, how confident are you if you were able to sweep Bren today? How confident are you that you're going to sweep Blacklist International?
since you swept Bren, and you feel that you're gonna see Bren in the grand finals, so do you think that you can bring this home? Yeah, because he said that pakiramdam niya, Bren ang papasok. Iswinip ninyo yung Bren.
How confident are you that you're gonna sweep Bren again? My apologies.
Jadi, lu ngerti? Jadi dia tanya lu kalau apa ya? Lu tahu confident kan? Kalau lawan brand lagi gimana?
Ya pasti sangat confident buat besok juga. Tapi ya pasti kasih yang terbaik aja buat besok. Kita pasti bisa champion. Woi,
Sun said he don't know, but he will just try his best tomorrow.
And final message to all the fans. Si Kapitan.
Cap,
Kapitan.
go ahead, Cap. Invite everyone to catch the finals tomorrow, the grand finals.
Thank you for all Sonic and thank you for you guys who always supporting us. I hope we can give our best in grand final. Thank you, po.
Again, congratulations to ONIC.
Once again, give ONIC a big round of applause.
Okay, wow.
How about this? We're going to throw this to all the audience.
Yes.
Pick your spot. You
Go
can
ahead.
choose any audience you
Scatter
want.
it around. Make sure you
We're
choose
gonna
a good
throw it
area.
all
Go ahead.
around.
To all ONIC fans. Keyboy, over here. Over here. Go. Over here. There you go. Try to go far. Over there. Yes, a lot of ONIC fans in the house. Yes, sir! Congratulations!
We're gonna have one more series right after this. It'll be between Bren and Blacklist International. Between the two, we will determine who will face ONIC in the grand final. So we're gonna break that down for you and turn it over to our casters. Pasok!
Thanks, Mara. Thanks, Miggy. Once again, GG well played to ONIC Esports, taking a sweeping series against APBR. Who would have thought that this is the reality that we live in?
Yeah, it kind of hurts, being part of the delegation. But at the same time, you're very happy about the results of the impact of the Filipino imports in ONIC. At the same time, they keep on telling, they don't care really about who their opponents are, what the scores will be. They just want to try their best. And I think that's the main idea of the coaching style of Coach Chev. I mean, I have had the chance to work with him, and that's generally what he wants to say. Stay humble, just try to win the games all the time, and have fun at the same time.
A year-long process to turn this into a super team. Let's have a look at our MVP of this game, brought to you by the Republic of Gamers. Give it up for the MVP, Kyrie.
Of course.
Of course. Look, we got to spread the love here. We got to spread the love.
Yeah.
The last two games, it was all about Sans and Keyboy. This game, you really feel Kyrie making that impact, really showing that, hey, I'm here to put on a show.
Yeah, wonderful, by the way, rotation and the strategy coming out from the entirety of ONIC Esports. They went in for the Gushan plus the Nolan in the first purple buff, and my God, you saw that in 4K. How big, how fast they took down the purple buff and then, of course, rotate afterwards. Kyrie in his jungling pattern here, and the way that he plays is, I think maybe a masterclass on how to play the assassin in and out of the fights, always calculated. So many times did he cheat death in this particular game, at the same time stealing away bonus kills like a double. The first one, and again, of course, boots with the play.
Genuinely disgusting gameplay coming out from ONIC.
I love it.
There's no
I
better
love it.
way to kind of put it, because in a composition like this, you wouldn't expect them to be this aggressive. I know
Yes.
you want to find the snowball, but the manner that they do it is rather interesting, right? Mainly utilizing Keyboy and as well as Sans as the main skirmishers of the team. And I don't know, I have to bring this up. We saw it with the Ohio brothers once when they decided to bring Petrify. Is Petrify the bane of Joy's existence?
Looks like it. I mean, we could see that if you have that instant stun that you will not be able to utilize your ultimate. Because you kind of need to dash out and use your ultimate just to be CC immune as the Joy. You kind of want to see it coming. But when it comes to Petrify, you don't know. It's almost an instant kind of spell. It is actually an instant animation. That's why it's very difficult to deal with it. And then you have a ton of damage with this Gusion. I think Suns played this Gusion game so well.
With that being said, let's have a look at a deeper look for all of the emblems that we see here up on screen from both sides, as a matter of fact, because again, this was not an easy game, especially if you're an AP Bren fan to watch. I'm looking at the Wilderness Blessings. I'm already very happy with what I am seeing all across the board. But I think the big game changer here, and again, one of those picks that you don't expect, is actually on Jaewei. Mr. Calvin Winata on this Harith.
Yeah, the Festival of Blood, now a staple for all the Hariths out there because you have supplementary damage to go with it. And of course, sustain, right? And then you can see that in the laning stage, it is actually disgusting. He's using the edge of the Synchro Vision as a way to last hit the minions up to the top lane so that he's safe. At the same time, he's trading. Every time that you can see Super Marco trying to trade against him, he always has that dash, synchro, the dash as well coming out from the Harith. So he's able to trade and then sustain his own lane.
Yeah, even Super Marco was having a tough time, despite the fact that he took Master Assassin, a way to kind of combat the overall lane priority expected to be given away to Mr. CW himself. Even so, he got very close to actually looking for that first blood, but unfortunately, with the fast rotations coming in by both Sans and as well as Keyboy, it did make it a little difficult, right? Yep. Let's have a look at the items and look and take a deeper look, right? Because Super Marco was taking a brunt of the punishment.
Important item as well, going for Athena Shield on Kyrie every time that he gets stunned up, which eventually he will. You'll notice that he will survive just because of the Athena Shield. Gonna be looking at the composition of AP Bren. They have this Joy, they have this Novaria, 200 euros that deal the magic damage, but this Athena Shield that was picked up by Kyrie prevented that from happening, especially in the latter portions of the game. Imagine there will be eventually a Nolan versus Joy happen. It didn't happen in this particular game because of the snowball from ONIC, but you'll understand. Nolan versus the Joy, eventually someone has to pick up the defensive item. Winter Charge for the Joy and Athena Shield for the Nolan. Because Kyrie was snowballing out of control, he got the Athena Shield very early on. After 3 damage items, the defense was there. If we imagine in the late game, Kyrie will be even more scary.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at some of these post-game statistics, we're hoping to see that Ogren was supposed to make a bigger impact in those motions, but I do feel that even amongst Ogren and even Flapteezy, it felt isolated, right? Isolated from the rest of how the team is supposed to actually function. Ogren was at the right place, right time, sometimes jumping a little too soon where you could have gotten a little more value, but unfortunately, Flap just really felt out of place in a lot of these motions.
And the thing with Kyrie, the way that he got the rich guy with the highest GPM, it's because of the rotation and the idea here coming out from ONIC. They drafted for the Gusion plus the Nolan. Very fast leashing and clearing of the lane, the purple buff. And you can see that through the jungle, it was very quick for Kyrie. We know for sure that Nolan versus the Joy, the Nolan is much faster when it comes to the jungling, and then he gets kills together with a double kill in the first Earl. That's why we overload the farm onto Kyrie because of the draft as well as the playstyle of ONIC.
And hopefully we get to see this a little bit more, right? This is one of the few exploits that have been utilized in not only just today's match, but even for the rest of the group stages. Is Gusion questionable in the meta right now? And considering what the lineup that he had to face, you would imagine that Ogren would have a better time at actually stopping him in his tracks. But unfortunately with a Petrify, and especially when you're up against a Joy, we are now seeing more utilizations for the Gusion.
Typically, when you go for a Novaria kind of gameplay, you don't necessarily want to go for assassins because you want some people to protect you as a Novaria. Novaria is a hero that scales into the late game and then supplements the damage. And typically paired with utility junglers because you have that vision, that astral echo, so that you will take over the neutral objectives. In this case, for AP Bren, they had the choice to pick up utility junglers. They didn't. When they saw the Nolan, their last pick during the first phase of the pick stages was the Joy. And it kind of makes sense, but Joy and Novaria together, you can see that they scale too much, that there wasn't any, pad or safety net in the early stage, no trampoline for AP Bren to launch off of.
Well, I think this is also